Hello everyone and welcome. It's Coffee with Ceri.
Hi guys, me again. Cup of coffee in hand. Nice and warm cup of coffee actually. If you've not seen one of these before, it's just my personal view of the world. Not here to offend, not here to upset anyone. If it's not a subject you're happy talking about or hearing me talk about, then please just stop the video and check out another video. My views are basically my own and they're not backed by anyone, and I've not really researched any of this. I'm just basically talking on how I've experienced the world and what I've experienced around it. So today's subject is wind farms and solar farms. Now, here in Britain, we have quite a lot of wind farms, and we have them, and by that, if anyone's unaware what they are, it's those long poles with three propellers turning, and it's the way of harvesting natural energy from a wind source. And these wind farms can actually be out in the ocean on our coast as well. And solar farms are basically expanses of fields or greenery that have all of these solar panels, which I believe move to track the sun during its course across the sky, to once again harness energy that is not a fossil fuel. And how do I feel about them? I'm okay with the wind farms, like the big windmills as I call them. I think they're tall, they're elegant, and there is a certain beauty to them. For me personally, I don't have one in my back garden. I don't have one close to me. I don't have to live with one on the horizon because I live in the middle of a city, and it's probably not going to be one in the middle of the city at the moment. When I drive, because I live in Wales, there are quite a few around because Wales is it's very much hills, mountains and valleys, so wind is really channeled through. So yes, that's a good thing, and I like them. I think they're elegant. I know that when I drive up to Scotland occasionally to teach or to do shows, there's this one area that I go through, I think it's on the way to Glasgow, and the entire sides of the valley are just completely this wind farm. I still think it's elegant, although I do think en masse they can be a bit visual litter or visual that they're very confusing when you see them en masse. But I do think, bottom line, I think they're elegant. When it comes to solar panels and the solar panels in a field, I'm not 100% certain that I like seeing that. See if I can qualify this a bit. It's just a huge expanse of black panelled glass, and I would rather see a field of wildflowers or nature or an unobstructed view of countryside. I don't know whether there's a solution to that. I'm sure there are benefits to having them, besides the obvious one of we're harnessing free power from the sun. I do think that because they're there, underneath must be a nice habitat for wildlife and insects and wildflowers. I've never actually walked through one of these fields. I don't even know that you're allowed to, but I would hope that the people maintaining these or having them are letting the meadow underneath grow, because that would give a habitat to wildlife. So I'm hoping that's what happens, because that would be a positive thing. I just think they're a bit of an eyesore. I don't like seeing big black patches in the rolling hills of Wales or England or Scotland or even Ireland. Never been to Ireland, but I'm sure there's some over there. Is there another solution to solar farms? I don't know. I don't know where else I would say they need to be put. I think, and I'm not sure this would even work, but it is a kind of a suggestion, we have enough high-rise buildings in the world that surely solar farms could be put on top of high skyscrapers. Now, I obviously don't understand how secure they are, so if there's a high wind, would they get blown off or snapped off? I do know that there are some residences where you've got the roof like this, whichever side of the roof faces the sun is all covered in solar panels, and that is supposed to create enough power for that household. And I believe, again, because we don't have them, it generates more than enough power for that household, and then that power can actually be channeled back to the national grid. I don't know whether they get a payment for that or whether they get a discount of some sort. I don't understand that either. But yeah, the big black panels don't really work for me. If they were green, would I like them better? Probably not, and they'd be less effective because a black panel will attract more heat or rays from the sun. Again, remember, I'm speaking from a layman's point of view here. Do they have to be flat panels? Is the other question. Also, if we've got all of these wind farms, is there some way perhaps that they could be dual purpose? These windmills, they're huge. They're absolutely huge. Could the dome that covers the top of them be somehow solar panels that's collecting at the same time? I don't know. It's an idea. I really don't know. It's like when it comes to vehicles that are driving around, like you get these huge trucks. Could we potentially put solar panels on the top of the big trucks, which then charge batteries, or even maybe charge the truck? I mean, there's an idea. We have trains that run on electricity, and I know here in Britain they're trying to electrify the whole of the rail network. It's diesel. I mean, obviously in the beginning it was fossil fuels, which was what we used for locomotives. Then it became, I believe it became diesel because we were of the view that that was the better fuel source. And now it's becoming electrified. But there again, you've got hundreds of trains running along train lines in the open air. The roofs are exposed to the elements, with the exception of going through tunnels. Should we be putting some sort of panelling on top of trains? I don't know. I don't know the answer to it, but I'd much rather see wind farms than I would to see solar farms. And why is it we find it less offensive to see a water wheel generating or harnessing electricity or power from a natural river, or we're not offended by seeing a dam that actually generates electricity by the water flow being released through the dam, but we're offended by tall, slim, elegant, in my opinion, looking wind farms and panelled solar panels? I don't know. If we're going to embrace the global economy and not use up the remaining fossil fuels as fast as we're doing, then there has to be a compromise, because fossil fuels are going to run out one day. Is the wind going to run out? Is the sun going to run out? Is the ocean going to run out? Possibly not. I mean, I do know that, is it here in, I think it might be here in Wales, we're in the process of looking at developing a wave barrage where the wave action will actually generate power as well. So I don't know, there are lots of alternatives out there. Granted, there's going to have to be a lot of money and research ploughed into them, but I think it's our way forward. I think, yes, we do need to steer away from fossil fuels for no other reason than they're going to run out. Also, it's very damaging to our environment, and I think that maybe wind farms and solar farms and wave action barrages and water wheels, maybe they are less intrusive on Mother Nature. I don't know. I just want to put that out there. Plant a seed in your mind and maybe need to think about it the next time we're driving down going, God, there's a lot of wind farms here, but what's the alternative? Open cast mining, drilling holes into the countryside, harvesting the natural resources under the ocean. How much is that impacting when visually all that's really impacting is the windmills? I don't know what the cabling is underneath, but whatever the cabling is, whoever's installed the ones I've seen, they've put nature back to where it should be after it's cool. All I see is the column of the windmill and the propellers at the top, and that's all I see. So there's got to be a central collection point somewhere, but you know, maybe that's a building and there's this spider web of cables going out to all of these wind farms. I don't know what the collection thing is. So anyway, just thought we'd talk about it, just thought I'd raise the subject and see what you think. And that's what I think. It's just my personal view, and hopefully it aligns itself with some of you. So until next time, cheers guys. Thank you. Bye.